Thanks, Tyler, and thank you for tuning in to the Amherst Weekly Report. Hello, and welcome to the Amherst Weekly Report, produced by Amherst Media Interns. I'm Mia Gaeta. On September 26, 2023, the African Heritage Reparations Assembly of Amherst released their final report. The report recommends actions that the town can take to issue reparations to those of African heritage in Amherst. The assembly was founded as a continuation of a grassroots movement created in the summer of 2020 called Reparations for Amherst. This initial group was integral in doing the primary research for the assembly and for petitioning Amherst to create the assembly itself. Co-founder of Reparations for Amherst, Michelle Miller, is now the chair of the African Heritage Reparations Assembly. Miller said the initial goal was to make sure that the activism that was sparked in the wake of George Floyd's murder in the summer of 2020 would be continued in order to create a more just Amherst. Now, in their final report, the Assembly has outlined specific histories of slavery and racism in Amherst and how the town can work to repair these past injustices and prevent future ones. In a survey conducted by the Assembly, they found that, quote, an overwhelming majority of survey respondents who identified as Black said they had experienced racial discrimination in Amherst. The Assembly wants a $2 million reparations endowment to be created within the next 4 years, with the primary source of funding for the endowment coming from the town's cannabis tax. The cannabis tax was specifically chosen because the historic criminalization of cannabis has brought outsized harm to Black people. This plan would accelerate the current reparations plan of $2 million over the course of 10 years. Whilst many suggestions were made to the town, Miller believes the first to be implemented will be the construction of the BIOPOC Youth Empowerment Center with youth programming and affordable housing developments, with some applicants being able to access reparation funds. Miller also said that a street renaming policy is in the works in order to better represent the town's history. Additionally, the Assembly urges the town to, quote, pursue special legislation to permit direct cash payments to residents who have experienced specific racialized harms. Lastly, the Assembly hopes the town establishes a successor committee to ensure these suggestions and protocols are being followed in the future and are continually adapted to the needs of the Black community. The Amherst Survival Center is holding its 4th annual Hike for Hunger fundraiser during the entire month of October. The fundraising goal this year is $32,000, and participants have already raised over $5,000. Amherst Survival Center serves 4,000 people in the community each month. Kelly Jewell, the development manager at Amherst Survival Center, has this to say.
My name is Kelly Jewell, and I am the development manager at the Amherst Survival Center. This is actually the 4th annual Hike for Hunger. It started as a virtual event during the pandemic in 2020 and has since expanded to an annual fundraiser. The Hike for Hunger has every year met its fundraising goal to provide funding for the center's food and nutrition programs because of rising costs of living, lagging wages, the impacts of climate change, and the end of COVID era's benefits like SNAP benefits, a lot more people than ever are really struggling to put food on the table. So right now, the center is seeing record numbers of people month after month coming to the center for food, whether that's fresh groceries, hot meals, our free medical clinic, and connection to a wide variety of other critical services in the community, as well as connection to others. And the money raised by Hike for Hunger goes to ensuring that all of our neighbors have access to fresh and healthy food. We are looking to raise $32,000 this Hike for Hunger. The fundraiser actually goes for the whole month of October, so folks can register at any point. And I will just say that my favorite part about this fundraiser, aside from the fact that it is directly supporting our neighbors' access to food, is that people can hike, walk, run, bike anywhere they want, whenever they want during the month of October, and reach out to friends and families at their convenience to help us raise funds. Not including sponsorships, which we do have a lot of really incredible business sponsorships this year. Our fundraisers have raised $5,579 in the first 4 days. It's really exciting. We have felt an extraordinary amount of momentum from the folks who signed up early. They just got in there. The $25 registration fee to sign up goes directly to the food and nutrition programs here at the Amherst Survival Center.
Anyone interested can sign up on amherstsurvival.org to participate in the fundraiser. Participants can register individually or as a team. Once registered, folks can set up their own fundraising page and begin to ask their friends and family to sponsor them. If you are not sure where to start, join one or both of the guided group hikes. A group hike will be held on Saturday, October 14th at the Silvio O. Conte Refuge Nature Trail and on Saturday, October 28th at Mount Sugarloaf. In addition to raising money for a great cause, there are also prizes to be earned. Gift cards and baskets from local businesses will be raffled off, and for raising $300, participants can choose from a Hike for Hunger beanie, camp mug, or water bottle. The dedicated hiker that raises the most money will earn $450 worth of gift cards to Amherst area restaurants and businesses, plus 2 tickets to any show at the Drake. The team that raises the most money will get 4 tickets to an Adventure East guided full moon hike and a $50 gift card to Tavern on the Hill. Check out amherstsurvival.org to see the full prize list and to register. The Jones Library hosted an evening with John Lithgow on Saturday, September 13th at 7:30 p.m. at Johnson Chapel in Amherst College as a fundraiser for the Jones Library's renovation plans. This event concentrated on a speech given by John Lithgow, a multi-talented performing artist and author who is well known for his movie and television roles of Reverend Shaw Moore in Footloose, Winston Churchill in The Crown, and Lord Farquaad in Shrek. Lithgow received no payment for his contributions to the event as a favor to the community. The event was sponsored by the 5 College Credit Union. At the start of the event, Lithgow was given an introduction speech by Austin Surratt, the president of the Jones Library Board of Trustees, where he shared stories about the guest of honor. Although Lithgow is from Rochester, New York, he has strong ties to the town of Amherst through current and former resident friends and family. His parents were residents of Amherst in the later years of their lives. His mother, Sarah Price Lithgow, was a librarian at the Stockbridge School in Massachusetts, now known as UMass Amherst. Lithgow discussed the importance of taking care of the community library by saying, quote, "A community that doesn't take care of its library is a community that doesn't take care of its soul." He later followed that by mentioning how library employees make an impact towards their community by being very organized and careful about the library's setup and its placement of books. Throughout his speech, Lithgow read various pieces he had previously written, including a paper he wrote in 2016 for The New Yorker called A Portrait of My Ego as a Big Black Dog. He also sang a children's song he had written called I'm a Manatee, which he usually sings when presenting to young children. At the end of the event, the Jones Library presented Lithgow with his very own library card, along with a picture of the mascot, Sammy the Owl. The picture is signed by Tony DiTerlizzi, an American artist and author who designed the Sammy mascot print that was used for Sammy's first event. The event was free, but through donations, they ultimately raised more than $12,000 for the Jones Library. The Jones Library plans to put the funds towards their renovation project. Moving on to the sports report now. This past weekend saw a mixed bag for the Amherst Mammoths. The weekend's two victories came from volleyball and men's soccer. The volleyball team traveled to New London, Connecticut, to face off against Connecticut College, where they defeated Camels 3-0. Meanwhile, at home, the men's soccer team overcame New England Small College Athletic Conference rival Williams College 2-1. Despite their victory over the Fs, the field hockey and women's soccer could not say the same. In both home games, Amherst lost to Williams 0-3 in field hockey and 0-1 in women's soccer. In an away game at Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut, football lost to the Bantams 0-49. Moving on to the UMass Minutemen, the Minutemen were certainly more consistent with their wins than the Mammoths. Football was the only team with a loss this weekend. Battling it out against Arkansas State University, the Minutemen were defeated 28-52. Other than that, the Minutemen saw solid wins and finishes across the board. At home, women's soccer beat Loyola University 4-1, while men's soccer surpassed George Washington University 3-0. Notably, field hockey swept the competition in a home game versus Yale University, beating the Ivy Leaguer 2-1. Lastly, men's and women's soccer each had solid team finishes in the Paul Short Run Invitational in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The men placed 17th out of the 43 teams, and the women placed 25th out of the 44. That's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in to the Amherst Weekly Report. I'm Mia Gaeta. We'll see you at this time next week.